Hi viewers, it's Iram Ali here, Immigration Solicitor. Welcome to my channel, Immigration with Iram. In today's video, we will be looking at the financial requirement for a spouse visa. So if you are looking to sponsor your spouse to come and live with you in the UK, as part of the family visa requirement is meeting the income threshold. Currently, the income threshold to meet is 18,600 per annum. So you must be earning 18,600 per annum gross before tax. Okay. I've released a video earlier about proposed changes coming with regards to the income threshold. So do watch that and do keep yourself updated on the changes as and when they are approved and implemented. They're not set to change until spring 2024. However, do subscribe to my channel so I can keep you updated on how those proposals unfold. For now, the income threshold is 18,600. Now, the Home Office have released an extensive set of guidance, which is called the Appendix FM 1.7 Financial Requirements, guidance on a whole host of different issues relating to your income. So not everybody is paid a set salary every month. Not everybody is on a permanent contract. Not everybody receives their money all in one go or the same amount every month or by bank transfer. So the Home Office's guidance notes give you all of the different scenarios, different ways of being paid, different contracts, different types of jobs, to help you understand what it is that they're asking you for and how you can meet the rules. Now, the most important thing to remember is that the meeting the financial requirement is a mandatory requirement. You absolutely have to meet the income threshold. If you don't, your application will be refused. It will be refused because there is a mandatory requirement of meeting the income threshold. Okay, so let's give you some examples. If you work for an organisation or a company and you earn, your annual salary is 18,600 per year, that usually you will evidence with a minimum of 6 months pay slips. You have to evidence that income over a 6-month period of time if you are on a salaried income. Okay, if you are on a salaried income, you work for a UK employer, you must evidence that you have 6 months income. If you work abroad, you still have to evidence your income over the 6-month period of time. So in addition to confirming what your salary is per year, you have to submit 6 months pay slips to show that income over that 6-month period. In addition to that, and depending on the time of year that 6 months applies, excuse me, you should be able to provide a copy of your P60 if you have it. But if you started work after April, for example, and you've missed the cut-off for that UK financial year, then you probably won't have the P60 for the following year to add to those 6 months pay slips. So P60 if you have it. A copy of your contract. So if you have a contract from your employer, a copy of that contract. In some rare cases, contracts are not signed. They're still legally binding in the UK. So if you should have a signed copy of your contract. You should always sign your contract and make sure the employer signs it. But in some cases, if you don't, if it's old or there's difficulties in getting that signed, it's still a legally binding document. But if you've got a contract, then provide it. In addition to that, you must have your employer's address, contact number, email address. So some of you may work for big companies like Amazon or the NHS, and they have a registered office address as their address. That's fine to give, but also you'll need to provide your work address of the actual location that you work at, as well as a contact number and an email address. Reason being, and reason you need to make sure that that a phone number and email address is accessible, is that the Home Office is very likely to contact your employer just to confirm your employment details, and may ask some questions of your employer. So whatever number you give, make sure that the Home Office is going to be able to ring and get through to somebody. Usually the numbers that I make sure are provided in the application are numbers for HR, for human resources, okay, because it's very likely that they'll actually be able to speak to the person who can confirm salary, start date, shift pattern, all of that. So yeah, make sure you can provide those details. So we've covered pay slips, we've covered contract, we've covered details for the employer, and then the other very vital piece of information is your bank statements. Now you have to evidence that your salary is being paid into your bank account, okay? So your 6-month pay slips should correspond to the bank statements. Now sometimes the dates are out slightly. So for example, you're due to be paid on the 28th of the month, but your salary doesn't go in until the 29th or the 30th. If there are differences like that, then they just need to be explained in the application. But generally, usually you will be paid on a set date every month, and your 6-month bank statements will show those dates. And it's a good job just to highlight that pay coming in, because you might work for Amazon, but the credit into your account for your salary doesn't have Amazon as the name of the employer. It might be third party, it might be a name of a different company. McDonald's, for example, is a franchise, so whoever the franchise holder is, their name appears on the bank statement. So just make sure you highlight so that the Home Office is clear of which payments are your salary coming in. Now, if you're paid fortnightly or weekly, then your pay slips still need to equate to 6 months worth of pay slips. Okay, so 26 weeks as opposed to 6 months. All right, so just make sure you've got your 26 weeks. They're highlighted on your bank statements so that the Home Office can match them. And in cases where you get cash in hand, it's difficult to prove your income if you're getting cash in hand, but you will need to explain why that is the case. I mean, nowadays, I would say almost all employers do pay you via bank transfer, but if you are getting any cash in hand, that needs to be evidenced by you depositing the money into your account. But I would err on the side of caution with that, and if you're able to request that your salary is paid into your account from your employer, do try and get that set up, because that is very, very strong evidence that you're being paid via your bank. In addition to that, you should and you must get a letter from your employer confirming your employment details. As a solicitor, I always provide a template for the employer, because sometimes the employer does provide you with a letter but misses things out. So, you need your start date, you need to say how much you've earned over the last 6 months, you need to know what your salary is, how that's calculated, how often you're paid, and what your job title is. So I provide a template as a solicitor, but you need to make sure that that information is contained in the letter. Okay, so the Home Office can see that your employer has confirmed that. And even if you've been working there for a long time, you might have been working in your company or for your organisation for 10 years. The letter confirms that, a fresh letter within the last 28 days confirms that you're still working there, for example, and just confirms all of the other supporting documents, including your pay slips and your contract and your P60, that you will be submitting as well. I will do a separate video for people who are self-employed, because that is a whole different ballgame. And hopefully if you're self-employed you can get information from there, but for now this video is for people who are on salaried employment and they receive their income, their salary set amount, set dates, whether that's monthly, weekly or fortnightly. So I hope that information has been useful to you. If it has and you've liked the video, please give me a thumbs up, and please make sure that you subscribe to my channel so that you will be notified of any new videos that I upload. Use the comments box for any questions, and I will try my best to answer with a follow-up video. So thank you very much for watching, and take care.